Hey, it's Steph. Thanks for watching today's video. I have my update for Pan Those Eyeshadows. This is going to be an exciting one, so stick around. Everyone does this project a little differently, but it was originally created by Alexi, so I will have her channel linked down below. I will explain my rules in a second, but if you are not familiar with my channel, I do mostly panning content, which means I am working through my collection of makeup and beauty items, trying to use what I already have, resist buying new things. I am on a no buy this year. This is my second year in a row. And I also just try to do some fun projects that kind of help me work through my collection, try to use things up, try to hit pan, just different panning goals. I also do some collabs every now and then, either palette bingos or different get ready with me. So if that sounds interesting to you and you're not subscribed, I hope you do so before you leave. And of course, if you love eyeshadow panning projects, give this video a thumbs up. So my rules are different than other people's, and most people that do this panning project kind of tweak the rules to fit their needs. I work on 7 eyeshadows at a time. That may seem like a lot to you, but they are all in here for different reasons. So the first 3 shades that I work on have a goal to hit pan. If I don't hit pan within 30 uses, I do have the option to roll it out. Usually by 30 uses, you can tell if you're going to hit pan or not. So I do leave that open just to make sure that I don't get too frustrated, too hung up on an eyeshadow, but my ultimate goal is to hit pan. Those first 3 shades are hand selected from 3 different randomized palettes from my panning eyeshadows spreadsheet. I have every single one of my eyeshadow palettes listed out alphabetically, and so I just randomize palettes and then hand select a shade from those palettes. That is how the original creator did it. So this year I changed it up from last year and decided to do that. Then the next 2 shades are within the Expand Those Pans project. This was created by Dora, and I love the idea of circling back to shades that you've already hit pan on but getting just a few more uses on them. Many panners, me included, tend to neglect eyeshadows or just products in general after you've hit a goal or if you've hit pan, because you kind of want to move on to hit pan on another product. So I have a 5-use goal on my 2 Expand Those Pan shades, and then the remaining 2 eyeshadows, one is my lid setting shade, and I am currently doing a challenge this year with my makeup bestie Tina. Her handle is Tina Misdemeanor on Instagram. One update, I said that you could also find her lurking in my comments of most of my videos, and sure enough, there she was. I just love a supportive friend, but we have challenged each other to hit, as many pans in lid setting shades throughout the year, see who can hit the most. Tina just hit pan in her first shade of the year. I have already hit pan in a shade a couple of updates back, so you'll see my progress on my current lid setting shade. And then the last eyeshadow is my brow shade. So I do fill in my brows with eyeshadow. That is a new thing that I'm doing this year. I'm just gonna see if I can live without buying brow products. I do have some brow gels still in my collection, but I completely ran out of my micro brow pencils, which those used to be my favorite way to do my brows. So I'm just kind of experimenting this year and seeing how many brow shades I can hit pan on as well. So obviously the goal for those last 2 is to hit pan no matter what, no matter how many uses that it takes. I think that is all that I have to say, so let's get into it. I'm going to first talk about the first 3 like randomized palette shades, and this first one comes from my ColourPop That's Taupe palette. This shade is called Cold Blooded, and it has been in for, this is the third month that I've worked on it. The first month I had it in, I used it 6 times and I definitely could see a dip forming. The second month I had it in, I only used it 1 time. I literally forgot that it was in this project, so that is a little disappointing. This last month I've used it 3 more times, and this is what it's looking like here. So you can see the itty bitty pan. I have to use a ton of this when I do use it. It is not impactful at all on my eyes. It kind of acts kind of like a satin shade, although it looks like it should be a metallic shimmer. But yeah, so within those, what is this, 10 uses, I had to use quite a bit of product. And I don't know if it's because this palette is expired, I got this in 2019, or if it's just the nature of the shade. But there it is swatched on my hand. The next shade comes from my Lorac Pro Noir palette. This was like a barely touched palette in my collection, so I was so happy to roll it in. And I kind of found it a little difficult to pick my shade, but I ended up picking the shade Majestic, which is this, like, it looks deeper, but it's kind of like a slate blue color, metallic. And this last month was the first month that I had it in. So I actually used this 9 times, and this is what it's looking like here. Hopefully you can see that nice dip forming. I do feel like I will hit pan in this by the next update. Oh, I didn't realize how like messy this pan looked. I use this on my nails. It's actually on my nails. I just realized that I could talk about. It's on my nails on top of like a light pink. But I will swatch it because of course it might look different swatched. Here it is swatched, and here it is on my nails, so you can kind of see it does kind of have like a warm, maybe like a brown base. So it's kind of one of those like brown blue colors, blue brown colors, whatever. But I really like this. I love putting this on my lid. It's a beautiful like neutral kind of center of the lid, maybe to the outer corner a little bit, and then I'll put a lighter shade on the inner half of my lid. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. But out of those 9 uses, I count 5 of those as like a manicure, because I count each pair of nails as 1 use. So I have 5 fingers on each hand, so that's 5 uses. So I only use it on my eyes 4 out of the 9 times. That's just how I like that's just how I like to count it and make sense in my brain, because I'm really like, my curiosity is how many uses dipped into this pan. And so if I'm using that amount, I don't know how to explain it. I'm just gonna stop because yes. Okay. The next shadow that I rolled in was from my Sydney Grace and Timetalia collab on the Horizon palette. Yes, on the Horizon, and I rolled in the shade October Odyssey. This was a surprising pick for me because it's more like a warm crease shade, a little bit deeper than my crease, but it blends out pretty easily. So I rolled this in last month. I only had 1 month of use, and I was able to use it 5 times. So this is what it's looking like here. You might be able to see some sort of a dip. I feel like there's a dip. So many people in my comments of my last update was like, it's gonna take forever to hit pan in that shadow, and I don't doubt that. But this shadow is actually very, very soft, very buttery, but it has a lot of kick up when I dip my brush in, which I did kind of show that in my last update when I did my look at the end of my video. I did not mention this, but if you're new, I like to create a look with all of my shades at the end of each of my updates, just so you can see how I may use them in the upcoming month. And I try to switch it up. Like if I have the same shades, I'll try to do a different type of look just to see the versatility of each shade. But here is that October Odyssey swatched. And I liked it more than I thought I would. I'll just say that. So last update, I kept in both of my Expand Those Pan shades. I was very disappointed in myself because I just expected to roll out all of my Expand Those Pan shades every month and keep that moving. I felt like 5 uses was very doable, but both of my shades last month I only had 3 uses. So the first one I'm going to talk about comes from my Half Cake Pretty Precious. It is the shade Slow Burn. So I'll show you what it looks like when I rolled it in, and of course I said I only used it 3 times the last update, but I do feel like the pan expanded okay. I'm a little surprised that the pan did not expand that much this month, but I did use it the additional 2 times. So this is what it's looking like now. This was just a great like outer corner or like transition from the outer corner to my center shade, and I will swatch it. It looks dark like when I swatch it and in the pan, but it was really pretty actually. So that shade's rolling out, thankfully. Oh, my hair. I feel like lately my hair has been really bothering me. The second shade for Expand Those Pans is from my Profusion Mauves palette. This is the shade Ooh La La. This is what it was looking like when I rolled it in, and I had some really nice pan expansion. The last update after my 3 uses. After 2 more uses, this is what it's looking like. So hopefully it expanded a little bit further, but I don't expect much. This is just a really pretty lid shade or topper. It's like a pink, but it has kind of like a golden reflect. I don't know if it's gonna pick up, but this is my color story that I was working with this last month. I did not use these together very often, I don't think. Well, obviously, like the Expand the Pan shades, I only had to use 2 more times. But I did kind of pair these 3 together a few times, and you would have seen that in my looks. But that shade is rolling out, so I have quite a few roll-ins this month. But before we get into that, I'm going to talk about my lid setting shade and my brow shade. So my lid setting shade comes from my Half Cake Pretty Precious palette. Again, we're going to look at a different shade in this palette, and it is the shade called Delicate. This is what it was looking like when I rolled it in. It was brand new, maybe touched once or twice. At the first update with this shade, I had used it 18 times, and I was definitely wearing it away pretty evenly, I felt, but these pans are super deep, so I knew that I was nowhere close to pan. I have since used it 20 times, and this is what it's looking like. So I hit pan. I'm so happy. I expected this to be a 3-month shadow at least. This was a surprise pan, obviously, and I thought it would be more like in the center, but I do think there is like a little ridge going around the square pan, so it's kind of raised up a little higher than the center. So I'm so happy to have hit pan in this already. So for my challenge with Tina, I have hit 2 pans and she's only hit 1. No, I love you, Tina. I just think this project is so fun. So I just swatched it there, but it's pretty good, like lid setting shade for me. It does pull a little yellow sometimes, but it's great. And then my brow shade I was working on was in my Beauty Bay Metamorphic palette, and it was the shade Avatar. I had actually rolled this in kind of halfway through last month before my update because I had hit pan in my previous lid setting shade about halfway through. So when I showed this to you in my last update, I had already used it 7 times. So there was a nice little dip forming. The shadow is very soft, and so I feel like it moves pretty quickly. I'm only going to open half of this palette because it's very reflective, but after 8 uses, I was able to hit pan in this, and I am honestly not surprised. So in total, it took me 15 uses. I really liked this brow shade on me. It was very cool toned and pretty light. That's just a really light swatch of it right there. I could build that up. Let me build that up because it's not really showing true. But yeah, it's rolling out. I'm very excited. So there it is there. So what is that? I'm rolling out. I'm going to be randomizing. Oh, wait. Because I hit pan in that only after 8 times. Obviously, from my lid setting shade numbers, I did my makeup 20 times since the last update, so I had to roll in a new brow shade. And because I was already working on this palette, I just pulled a shade from here. So I rolled in the shade Baby Love, and this is what it looked like. I think I took a picture of it before I started using it. Basically untouched, obviously. This palette looked pretty new when I rolled it into this project, and this is what, oh, how many times have I used it? I've used it 13 times, including today, and this is what it's looking like now. So there's definitely a little dip forming, and I feel like because I'm using such a small brush and a very like pinpointed area, I might be able to hit pan in this by the next update, or maybe sooner. So we'll see. Swatch this. This is a little darker than, oh, I forgot to show you my lid setting shade that I'm rolling in. I'm all over the place. So the shade is a little darker. So here's the Beauty Bay shade here, and then this is the Half Caked Pretty Precious shade, but I love how cool toned it is. I do have it in my brows today, like I said, just really like on the outer tail of my brow. So yeah, I am excited to hit pan in that, hopefully this month. So my new lid setting shade is actually going to come from my Lorac Noir palette. I just figured since I'm already working on it, I already have it out, why not? So there is a shade in here that's kind of like my skin tone. It's this color here. It's called Ecru. It does look slightly yellow, but I mean, it's just going on my lid. I'm going to cover it up. This is just going to help brighten my eye and cover some of the veins that I have on my eyelid that my concealer might not have caught. So I did swatch it right here, but I mean, it's a lid setting shade. Hopefully, I mean, the goal is that it doesn't show up, right? So yeah, I'm excited to hit pan on that. I have not hit pan in a Lorac shadow before, so we'll see how long it takes me. But I think that's all I have to say. Now, it is time to roll in a new palette. Woo! Okay, I think my spreadsheet is up to date. Like I said, I have an eyeshadow spreadsheet that I have all of my palettes listed out. I currently have 54 palettes in my spreadsheet, so let me go to a random number generator. I'm going to start my screen recording. And I'm going to change the max to 54, and I'm going to hit generate. Number 40. Oh, number 40 is my Odin's Eye Jewels and Gem palette that already has 2 pans in it. So it'll be nice to add a third one. Now I'm going to go to my tab here that says with pan. I'm pretty sure my cold-blooded shade is already added to this, so if I roll that one in, I'm just not going to pick it. But currently I have 62 shades in my collection that have pan already. So the first one is number 9, and that's from my Pan That palette, my Sultry, so I'm not going to roll that in. Number 18 is from my Beauty Bay Metamorphic Avatar, which I literally just rolled out of the project. Number 15 is from my Aether Beauty Rose Quartz. Okay, I have not worked on that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I'll talk about it when I show you the palette. This palette is kind of special to me, but I'm rolling in the shade Trust. And then the second shade is number 30, which is, I don't want to work on my That's Taupe. I've literally worked on that this whole project. I'm sorry if you guys think that's cheating, but I want to give some love to something else. ABH Sultry, okay. Number 42. Half Cake Pretty Precious, Delicate, what are you doing to me? Number 32 is ColourPop That's Taupe, oh my gosh. Number 11, I think, is ABH again, yup. Wow, I'm sorry. 29, ColourPop That's Taupe Python. We literally had that in the project already. 55. Okay, this should work. Oh, Pretties for Your Face single eyeshadow in the shade Hidden Treasure. I can do that. Is that all I need to pull? Yes. Okay, I'm going to go grab those items and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have swatched most of my shades out. I'm very happy with this color story, but I have not picked my shade from my Odin's Eye Jewels and Gem palette. Because I randomized this palette, I still need to hand select my shade. This is what the palette is looking like. I have used this recently-ish. I think it was in February. It was January or February. I did a collab with Andy Does Stuff. We both have this Odin's Eye collection, but she has the counterpart, which is the Stone and Rock, I think, and I have Jewels and Gems, so we both created like a palette bingo, and this is what mine is looking like. I mean, I could easily go for this inner corner shade. This would be wild, but I mean, this shade called Seventh Heaven, this grungy green, is actually like, I feel like halfway to pan because I have scraped stuff out of it to use in other things. I don't know if that would be completely cheating in your eyes, but let me think about this for a second while I show you my Expand the Pans shades. So this first one here, okay, it's crazy how similar these look on camera, but this one has a nice little green flip. So this one is from Aether Beauty, the Rose Quartz palette. This is the this is like the second edition before they stopped doing makeup, but now I think they're coming back. So I don't know if they're going to bring this back or if they have brought this back. I'm not really up to date with Aether Beauty, but I have the second edition Rose Quartz, and the shade Trust is this beautiful silvery purple metallic. So you can see I have 3 pans in here. This palette is special to me because I was using this for Project Level Up for project level 3, which is why there's 3 pans, but I was panning this when I found out I was pregnant. So this actually came on a work trip with me, like right after I found out I was pregnant. So yeah, I don't know, I always think of the day finding out I was pregnant when I think about this palette. Yes, I was just tearing up. If you're new here, I do that a lot, but I controlled myself. But yeah, trust, this is just a beautiful, stunning, one of my favorite shades in this palette, so it will be really fun to work on. And then this last shade is from Pretties for Your Face. They are an indie brand, and I have quite a few singles from them. I just recently reorganized my single eyeshadows, and I used to have them by brand, so I had all of my Pretties for Your Face singles together, but I just recently organized them by color. So this is like my blue-green color, and this shade here is Hidden Treasure. And hopefully you can see that small little pan. Every time I use this shade, it kind of like covers the pan a little bit, but I try not to do that. But like when I swatched it, I kind of like tried to avoid the pan, but I will take this out. I don't need to take it out. Why do I need to take it out? This is beautiful. I think this will be really nice for spring. In this specific look, these two shadows might compete, but on an everyday basis, I'll probably use them on different days. So, wow, yeah, I still don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh my gosh, should I do it? I'm gonna do it. I'm just like taking chances in this project. Like when I rolled this warm matte in, y'all were shocked and I was too. And now I'm rolling in this grungy green, which is very shocking to me as well. But this is called Seventh Heaven, like I said. Hopefully you don't feel like this is cheating, because I feel like I'm about halfway to pan, but this shade here took me 50 uses, at least 50 uses to hit pan. So I really don't want to do that again in a matte. Oh my gosh, what kind of look am I going to create? This is actually a really nice color story for someone who likes these tones. It's definitely a little out of my comfort zone. But yeah, I'm going to zoom you in. I haven't even had a chance to think about what I'm going to do. But I'm going to zoom you in, and I'm going to create a look with these shades. Okay, I actually have not done my like lid setting shade yet. Hopefully I'm not creasing too bad. So I'm going to take my new lid setting shade from my Lorac palette. And I completely forgot to bring my lid setting brush out, but I do have this fluffy brush from e.l.f. and I'm just going to put that on. Honestly, this is a unnecessary step for me, but I mean, I have to use these colors somehow, these shades in my collection somehow. I have quite a few of these like lid setting shades for me, so might as well try to hit pan in them. Wow, what am I gonna do? I actually really like that green. I'm shocking myself right now. Wow. I'm gonna put the green on my crease. I'm just gonna go for it. I have no idea why or how or what it will look like, but yeah, my plan is actually to maybe put this pink on my lid under a shimmer. So I'm gonna go really lightly and a little above my crease. Oh, oh yeah. Okay, very pigmented. try to blend this out as best as I can. Oh my, oh my. That got grungy so quick. These are very pigmented, or this shade is very pigmented, and I think I brought it up way too high. Very messy. I did forget to say, but it's kind of obvious, I do have a full face of makeup on, and I do have some mascara on just so I didn't look crazy in the footage with just like a full face and blank bare eyes. I'm just blending this out with whatever product is left on my lid setting shade brush. Okay, I think I saved it. Okay, good. So I'm gonna leave that for now. I think I'm just gonna go, I want to do a lot of layering today, and I don't do a ton of that on my channel, so it is a little different. But I'm gonna go in with this pink on my lid, and I kind of need like a packing brush for that. This is from Profusion. It's the large shader. And I'm going to show you guys how powdery this shade is. Hopefully you can see. I barely touched it. Okay, I guess it doesn't happen with a large shader brush. But when I use a blending brush, it does. Okay, I'm going to pack this. I'm going to start off with just like the outer half and the center. I'm going to leave this inner third blank, but I'm going to put quite a bit of this on. I'm going to blend the edge so it's not super harsh. This is very out there for me. Hopefully the shimmers stick on top of this. I didn't even think about that. How are you guys doing? I'm doing good. Really enjoying my job, actually. I have not talked about that a ton since announcing that I did get a job, but I'm really enjoying it. So if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I do plan on doing like a get ready with me, talking about my job. If that is interesting to you guys, let me know. I think I'm gonna leave that for now. And I'm going to go in with the dark shade from Lorac, the shade Majestic, and I'm going to take that on, what kind of brush? Probably like this kind of brush. It's like a flat. I've used it before. This is from Sigma F70. It's actually a concealer brush, apparently. But I'm going to try to deepen out my outer corner with this shade. I really hope it sticks. I know some people just do not like shimmers in the outer corner. I typically will not do this, which is kind of fun that I'm doing it now. But I don't really mind it. It doesn't upset me. I really should have used a glitter glue of some sort, but I'm not going to touch it. I learned from my last update, if you were not aware, I got some fallout in my last update and I tried to sweep it away. and it totally like blended all over my face. So that is that. I'm trying to think about like inner corner, where I'm gonna put that blue. So I'm gonna go in with Trust from Rose Quartz. You know what? There's no mirror in this one. So let me just grab a mirror. And for now, I might put this in more spots, but for now, I'm just gonna put this in the inner corner, or the inner third. Should I leave the center red? I was not planning on doing that. Okay, I'm gonna put this in my inner corner. Then I think I'm gonna top the Pretty For Your Face shade on top of the red. Wow, the fallout. Oh my gosh, this is, I don't remember that about this palette or shade. Can you see it? It's so annoying. Okay. Now I think I'm just going to take my finger and get some of that Pretty For Your Face shade. The shift is amazing. Like, look at it swatched. And I'm just going to lightly tap that on top of the red. Very lightly. Wow, this look is very glittery. And I'm not a glitter person. But I am trying to preserve some of that red color. Okay, I think that's it. What should I do on my bottom lash? So that green. Yeah, let's grunge it up a little bit more. So, I have to find a lower lash line brush that is clean. I'm going to take this mini Eco Tools brush. If I use it this way, I'll for sure hit pan quickly. I'm just going to run that my entire lash line. I'm so happy it's spring. I'm going to fix my hair. The sun is coming out in the Pacific Northwest. I am filming this on April 1st. My birthday was March 28th. And we didn't do like a ton. But we did go out to dinner with my parents. My sister and her family are out of town. My oldest sister are out of town, so when they get back, we'll do like a family thing. But, yeah, I'm 34. I am not ashamed of being 34. 34 is not old. We're not old, okay? Yes, there are a lot of younger panners and makeup people on here, but we have our place too. And I know some people didn't know that I was 34. I had a lot of people on Instagram be like, oh, I thought you were in your 20s. I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you. I think I'm going to leave the lower lash line. I did think about adding some shimmer. Sometimes I do put some shimmer on this inner part, but I kind of like how grungy it is. Okay, I'm going to add a little more mascara. So a lot of times in these looks, like if I already have mascara on and then I put eyeshadow on, it kind of just like takes away. And I didn't put a full like coat of mascara on before anyway. I did just open this tube of the Lash Princess from Essence. It's my last mascara, so I have to get some new. I did order a couple new ones, like minis, from Sephora when I got my birthday gift. I chose the Mario lip kit. I've never tried anything from Makeup by Mario, and they had like a mini lipstick and lip liner. So I thought that was a fun birthday gift. So I got a couple mascaras. I got the mini Tower 28 mascara. I don't remember which one, but one of them was a 100-point perk. I think it was the Cali Ray. I also got the Cali Ray mascara, which I haven't tried either of those, but I've heard good things about both of them. And then another 100-point perk I got was an Urban Decay eyeliner, which I've literally never used Urban Decay eyeliners before, but like some people, they're like their ride or die eyeliner. So I was like, wow, free eyeliner? Yes, please. I think it's just black pencil. My eyelashes are like clumping together. And I did get myself a little birthday gift. The Natasha Denona Mini My Dream blush. It's like a glowy blush, and it has like 3 shades in it that I'll just mix together, but those just look, it just looks stunning. It's been on my wish list forever. Happy birthday to me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna zoom you out and we can look at this look all together with my full face, but I am pretty happy like how creative I could do this look. Okay, here it is. Definitely does not go with my shirt, but that's fine. Here is the color. Here's the color story with the look on my eyes. I think I utilize both of these like mid-tone mattes pretty well. Like I would use these for the same purpose in 2 different looks. So I feel like using them in one look, I did okay. Let me know what you would have done. If I were just, you know, creating this look on an everyday basis, I would probably not have put the shimmer in my outer corner, but I think it turned out okay. So if you enjoyed, give this video a thumbs up. I'm very happy with my progress and just excited to work on these new shades for spring in this April month. So if you're not subscribed, I hope you do so before you leave, and of course give this video a thumbs up. I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.